Once your vehicle is raised and supported safely, you're going to remove all 6 lug nuts. Alright, so now that the wheel's off, we have a clear view of our jam nut. Go ahead and spray that down with some penetrant. Once you've let it sit for a little while, break the jam nut free. The next thing we're going to do is get this cotter pin out of here. This one's obviously very rotted. I'm just going to cut it. Okay, it's not coming out. I'm going to grab the socket and just kind of put it over the top of this. It's going to peen down on that cotter pin, and then we'll just take the nut off. Just going to start that nut on just a couple threads here, just so it can't fall. Spray down this area. Now we're going to hit right here on the knuckle and try to break the outer tie rod end from the knuckle. Okay, time to get the outer tie rod end off. Just go ahead and spin it. And while you spin it to the left, count those threads. 1, 2, and so on. Just take note of that number and write it down somewhere. Now we're just going to do the same on the other side of the vehicle. Let's go ahead and spray down the inner tie rod end area with some copper never-sees. All right, now let's go ahead and put on our outer tie rod end. Make sure that you count back to the original number when you took it off. Go ahead and bring that jam nut down to the outer tie rod end. We're not going to snug it up yet because we need to start it into the knuckle. So now we're going to take our castle nut, we're going to start it on the outer tie rod end. After that, we're going to bottom it out and then we'll torque it to manufacturer's specifications. Let's go ahead and bottom this out. Now torque it to 67 foot-pounds. Once you have your castle nut torqued down to the manufacturer's specifications, you want to pay attention to where the cotter pin is going to go through the stud on the tie rod and line it up with the closest slot on the slotted nut. When you do that, you need to continue tightening. If it doesn't line up, tighten it just a little bit more until it does. Do not loosen it. Let's go ahead and make sure you get that cotter pin in there. Super important. Now let's tighten up the jam nut. That's nice and snug. Perfect. Do the same on the other side of the vehicle. Okay, we're cruising. Let's get the wheel back up on here. And of course, get all your lug nuts on and started. Let's go ahead and bottom out all the lug nuts. Okay, now we're going to do the same to the other side, and then we're going to torque them to manufacturer's specifications. All right, let's go ahead and torque the wheel in a crisscross pattern to 83 foot-pounds.